Welcome to PLAMonday, live from the Moore University workshop. My name is Edetocek as always, and I hope you had a good weekend and a nice start into the new week. It is Monday, and once again I'm down here building, painting, sanding some plastic models. I'm still working on Emma from the Sosai Shoujo. I can almost say this without any hiccups now. The longer I do this, I can now, I know I can recall the name of the series. Emma. Built her a couple of weeks ago, and now I'm in the midst of painting her. First time I'm painting such a plastic model kit with proper paints, and also like a humanoid kit. It's a little bit different than painting a Gampla, I think. So, and today I'm so on time that I already started a bit to paint. Right in front of me I have a few already half-finished parts. Yeah, this is like my where it should be, that it is in focus. So let me pull this up here. So yeah, a couple red parts, a couple hair parts, leg parts. I just checked them on the leg parts or on the hair parts, for better say, and they look nice from a distance, but if you look at them closely, especially this part here, for example, you can still see that some of the paint is unevenly distributed. And I also want to present to you the let me just save this as a preset, and then I can show you my t-shirt, my Valhalla t-shirt from last stream with Dorothy on it. This is the Valhalla t-shirt. Let me get this in focus. Does it go into focus? I don't know. I guess I have to pull it manually. So here she is. Here is Dorothy from Valhalla on this nice little Cospa shirt that I ordered last week on Ami, and I unboxed it, but I didn't wear it because I would have to change, and this is a bit of a hassle with the microphone and with the headset. So yeah, but now I'm wearing it, and it's now almost spring. I wouldn't say summer, but almost spring, and so I can finally, I guess, have short sleeves again here in the workshop. Temperature is up like by 2 degrees from the cold winter temperature. So if I'm sitting here, I guess this would be fine. So okay, so let me see. Tea time. You can refill my teacup by writing ! Tea time in the chat whenever you want, so that I stay hydrated. Let me check this. If the chat is working, yeah, it's fine. And of course, I have to write it correct. I don't have to misspell it, so then it doesn't work. So it's just tea time, one word, ! Yeah, now it works. Okay, so this is working as well. That's fine. Today's tea is a black tea. It is a strawberry, yeah, strawberry black tea. And I will now coat those parts for a final, hopefully final layer of paint, because I really don't want to that all the details get swallowed too much, but hopefully a final paint of final coat of paint, and then I will I guess sand the skirt parts and mix together the skirt color, and let's see how the skirt color turns out, because I'm relatively satisfied with the leg parts. The bag is also quite good. The hair, although compared to the like illustrations, the hair is a bit like too red for her. I mean, if I check the painted illustrations of Emma, where is she? Here. Yeah, I mean, might be okay, I guess. Might be okay, but then of course also this is like glossy finish now, and once I cover it with the top coat it will be matte again. So I'm very curious how this turns out. So I will now attempt to paint those leg parts for a final coat, because I've already recovered the color. The interesting thing what I noticed is if I breathe on this too much, if I make this, it gets like matte. So yeah, so let me just switch the cameras so that you can see a bit better what I'm doing. Yeah, once again I'm wearing a dark shirt. That might not be ideal, but yeah, I guess we have to suffice and endure the black shirt, because I wanted to show you the Dorothy shirt. And yeah. So what about the music? Is there any music? Oh, there is the music. Okay. I switched back to those more like lo-fi chill beats for the plastic model streams. Now this is too loud for me. Let me turn it down. Okay, that's ideal. Because believe it or not, it's a bit like irritating if you hear music in your headphones and you still have to talk all the time, or basically to yourself. So also I guess it messes up my like volume, my speaking volume. Normally if you like have headphones on, it's really hard to communicate with other people in an indoor voice, because you tend to just like you want to overrule the sound you hear, even if the person you're speaking to doesn't hear it. So yeah. For right now I'm kind of satisfied with the parts I've already painted, but then again those are like, it just feels unnecessary, because most of the parts had already this color. For example, those legs didn't look as different before I painted them. The only part that might significantly improve, if we let the color accuracy, just forget about the color accuracy, but just as a finish will improve, are the hairs. Because the hairs, I don't know, I'm not that skilled in building model kits either, so I don't know, I try to mitigate stress marks, and I try to get those gates clean off the runner, but still you see them, and then I start to sand, and usually this makes it worse in terms of visibility of those stress marks, so that you can clearly see them. And of course, yeah, and once you paint it, those scratches and stress marks and remains, they all tend to disappear and get covered by the paint. So this is a good thing. But yeah, in terms of like details or color-wise, there isn't much of a difference. You know, I'm just painting this without any added details. So it's just really just a coat of paint. So yeah. What I can say already is that this doesn't like affect the model that much in terms of posability. I guess that's a good thing, because the architect I built before her, she really suffered in terms of like usability due to the paint job, because I painted her with like normal colors, normal acrylic colors, where those are like proper model kit paints. So yeah. And also I decided to paint all, to sand all those parts before I start painting. So this takes an extra amount of time. Still too loud. I know that there are two camps of thought when it comes to painting with sanding or without sanding. Some people like say you can't paint a layer of paint without sanding, regardless if it's like a model kit or if it's like some real like hardware projects where you just paint something on an even surface in the house or in the garden or whatnot. And some people say with those model kits you don't have to sand them. It is it might even ruin the model. So yeah, don't know. Of course, when I say sanding, this usually means like in the triple digits, like 1,000 grit upwards. So it's not really that you are getting rid of plastic. It's more like a finish, a surface finish story kind of thing. I don't know how to describe this, but it's just, I guess it's just to prepare the surface so that the paint will stick better to it and maybe not like run around, because that's like the other problem with those paints. They are quite easy to apply, not gonna lie, and they look like fabulous while they are open because they are gloss, and gloss paint does look like really cool if you paint with it because it reflects the light and everything. But once it's dry and you take a really close look, you can still see that some of the paint might got unevenly distributed, and it tends to like run into a certain part of the model. So yeah, might not be that great. Okay, so I really struggle to get this into my reach, but yeah. But for the skirt, I'm curious how I mix the color, how near I come to the sample picture. Because let's be honest, the skirt and the hair are the two main color parts of this figure. Otherwise, she's just like skin colored and white, and yeah, this like brown blackish parts of her legs, but. But then, of course, this is my first time working with those colors. It's one of my first times ever building and painting a model kit. So I know that this won't be perfect in any sort of way. It's just a shame that you have to like train on a real kit in order to get some results. Or at least I want to train on a real kit. I don't want to like train on like raw plastic. But then again, if you really develop some skills later down the line, you might want to buy this a second time and start from new. Oh shit. Fell down. Okay. Hopefully this didn't mess up anything. So I guess the leg parts are coated. So now I can move on to the hair, because the bag, I guess the bag is already finished, or at least the ground color is finished. I might do some weathering effects on the bag, but this is for another time of the day. Still, I will keep the color. Maybe I will use it again. I don't know. I don't even know if this is like advisable what I'm doing, like keeping the colors for multiple weeks, because there's another problem with those Plastic Monday streams. Right now I have so many projects in the work that I only can focus on this on Mondays, live on stream. So normally if you do this like as a real hobby and not just like for entertainment purposes, you might do this like every day, and then of course you will be much faster, and also you can just use your colors and paint it in one sitting and not just like mess around too much with those little tabs and try to keep them open as long as possible. But when I have some free time in the workshop, I tend to I will drop this at some rate. And it will be a very sad part. I will just build for my figure photos. So last Friday I built like 2 of those what is it called, power poles, utility poles for an upcoming figure photo, and there is a third one that is already like primed, so you can see. I can put them here on display as well, so you can see them from the more interesting part, because down there it's just a pole, a naked pole, and yeah. Those are those power poles I'm building on Friday on full time, and also on the weekends if I still have some free time. So I'm not so much interested in plastic model kit building right now, so I really can do this on Monday, and therefore the output is a bit slow. And also, like I told you a few times, this week, especially today, as we speak, we started with the garden renovation, because I'm sitting here in a workshop downstairs, and upstairs is a house, and to my left there is a garden upstairs, and this garden is now the only thing that is untouched, and now it is time for the garden to get renovated. So yeah. So basically today came a big truck and brought a dumper truck, bought an excavator, and they already started to, like, dump my soil into big boxes and the big containers, because the first step is to remove all the old soil from the garden, like almost half a meter, so that we can start again fresh from scratch. And yeah. I mean, the color remains open. It's not so that it's dried up. There are a few bits that already dried. That's the funny part, I guess. And oh, that was a bit much water, but still. The interesting part is that some bits drying up more than others. And also the thing is that I'm afraid to get like paint chips into this fresh paint, so that I'm scratching up dried paint into the finished mix, and I will pick it up with the brush, and then I will apply it to the model, and that won't be good, wouldn't it? So yeah, of course it would be more advisable to start with fresh paint each time, but then I had to get the mixing done each time, and also it would be such a waste of paint. So right now I'm really just trying to get this done. And I also noticed that it isn't advisable to start a second layer in one sitting. I've tried this, and every time I tried I was dissatisfied with the result. Maybe because I've already used quite a bit of water to mix things thinner. But if I start a new layer once it's half dried, it will look terrible. So I will let this dry overnight. So I'm not in a rush, I'm trying to say. I'm not in a rush to get things done. With those hair parts, I guess I have to also like paint them on the backside, because maybe you can just glance at the backside, and then it would be a shame if the unpainted surface comes through. Oh, this starts to look really nice. I hope so. I keep telling myself, oh, this will be great. I have to trust the process. This is always the thing. Trust the process. Don't think, just trust the process. It's like cooking. If you start a new recipe, sometimes you might think, oh, this will never taste good, or this might never work, and then suddenly it all clicks together. So hopefully this does. I mean, in terms of like events, my day wasn't totally ruined. Quite the contrary, it was quite a good day. It was very chill at work. Almost no workload. I have my week where I can come into the office a bit later than usual. Then I also have to stay a bit longer in the afternoon, but still, since I'm not a morning person, I prefer to come into the office a bit later, and since I'm staying up all night, almost like I could be like there could be a link between those two things, but yeah. So very few tasks to do today, and yeah, we started with the garden. So there is finally like the first step is done. First step is always the most important one, or one of the most important ones. So now we can focus on the garden, because it's like, yeah, we started today, but in reality we already like planned this for almost a year now. So it's always good to see a project come to fruition, and to start with a project, and already getting like the end is in sight. You know, once you started, you can't chicken out anymore. I mean, half the garden is already like a field of dirt now, so you can't chicken out anymore, and now you have to get this done. But there was also a misfortune happened to me today. I mean, I don't know, I guess I'm to blame, or partly to blame, but a few days ago when I drove my car, it told me that one of the tires had low pressure, and I don't know how this is measured, because I have a car that is very manual, so it doesn't have much electronics and much sensors. So if there is like a pressure warning, it usually tells you, okay, there is low pressure, but it usually doesn't tell you where there is low pressure. I mean, you just have four wheels. It's just like, yeah, okay, figure it out by yourself. There are only 4 of them. And also it doesn't like say you, okay, the pressure should read this, and now it reads this. It just tells you low pressure. Okay, so you have to like drive to a gas station and check yourself and refill a bit of air, and then it's all good. Then of course it also doesn't register that you refilled air, so you have to quit the alarm manually. You have to reset it, and when there is no pressure difference anymore, it will just stay off. So okay, and normally this warning appears twice a year. It usually correlates to the change of the tires, like summer and winter tires. We have those. You know, like in winter you drive some softer rubber on your tires so that you have more grip, and then summer you change to more harder rubber and like with fewer like channels on them. So yeah. And since over a season they lose some air, it tends to be around this time. So I wasn't thinking much about it. I was thinking, okay, I don't drive fast, I don't drive far, so I'm too lazy to go to the gas station and check. So, and in like 2 weeks we will change those tires anyway. And also now I'm trying to drive as much as possible with my bicycle. So I was just, I basically ignored the warning, as I normally do with those. And today I drove to work in the morning. Everything was fine. I drove to my office. It's like a 25-kilometer ride, and I stepped out of the car and I got into the office and I stayed there the whole day. And when it was finally time to drive back, shortly before, a coworker came into my office and told me, "Hey, Adi, you have a flat tire." And I was looking, and I thought maybe he's seeing that the air is not like sufficient. Like there are car people out there, they can tell you, like, same as I can like see myself in a mirror and say almost get my weight down to the pound. They can look at the tire and say, okay, this has insufficient air. But no, it was like just really a flat tire, like you see in the movies or in a cartoon. Yeah, there was almost no air inside, and I was like, I mean, luckily, I still have a spare tire, like a real spare tire in my car. That's quite unusual actually, because normally those cars cut this down because of cost reduction and of weight reduction. So either you have like a small spare tire in the car, or you have none of this. You just try to repair it like with some kit or with like nothing. But I have a fifth wheel, and but I never did a wheel change on the road. And of course it wasn't on the road, it was at the parking lot at my company. And since I work in logistics, and I didn't want to use this tinky little what is it called, the jack where you can lift the car, I just asked my colleagues to bring the forklift, and we lifted the whole car with the forklift. And so changing the wheel was very, very easy. It was almost like in a mechanic shop where they can lift the whole car with one of those like platforms. And yeah, changing the tire wasn't a problem. But now I have to seek a shop, and then I've checked the tire, the broken tire, and have seen that there is some obstacle in there. I think it's a nail. It's quite big. I only can see the head of the nail, and so I don't know what it is. And I also didn't check where it is, if it's on the running like surface, or if it's just the rubber itself. So, but the shop will tell me if it's fixable or if I need a new tire. And yeah, after that I have to get a new tire or get it repaired, and yeah, it will cost a bit of money, of course, and yeah, it's a bit annoying. But other than that, I mean, this was the first time happening to me in almost like 20 years of driving. So yeah, I guess it's okay. Better than getting this done at the middle of the night on the road in the cold. There could be worse scenarios where this happens. Yeah. And also this is like the problem if you drive in an industrial like area where many trucks and so forth are on the road. There is also a bit of debris everywhere, so I mean, usually with my bike I am planning for like 3 flat tires each season, each year, and of course almost all of them are at the back side of the bicycle. So the rear wheel, not the front wheel, the rear wheel. And of course the rear wheel is a bit more effort to change because you have to get rid of the chain, and it's a bit like, and also you don't do this like often, so it's when it happens it's always a stressing situation. It's not like in Formula 1 where they change tires on a regular basis like 100 times on a weekend. It's just, if it happens to me on the bike, it's just always stressful. And yeah, I mean, I have all the tools on my bike to change at least one flat tire. I even have like compressed air in a can or something, and so yeah, I can change it on the road. It's no problem. Like every road racer almost can do this when they are, every cyclist that is a bit more on the professional side. But still it's annoying, and also most of the time there is no like space to change it, so you do it like literally on the side of the road where cars are driving by, and also once you remove one wheel of a bike, it doesn't stand, so you have to lay it on the ground, and there is almost everywhere is like a dirt road, so it gets dirty, and yeah, not a fun activity, to be honest. Better if it happens at night, so that when you come to the bike in the morning and you don't have air in the tires, that's not too bad. You can still change it at home. It's less stressful. And depending on how dependent you are on the bike, you like me, you might even have a spare wheel with a fixed tire on it, so you can just swap out the wheel in 1 minute and you're good to go. So yeah, but usually with the bike it happens like three times a week, I guess. 3 times a week, yeah, that would be awful. Now 3 times a year, 3 times a week. But believe it or not, last season the first like drive that I had, I come home, nothing went wrong. Next day I went to the bike, no air in the tire. So literally at the first tour of the year, I had a flat tire. So this was a bit like unfortunate, but yeah, can't be helped, I guess. And of course my biggest fear when changing tires, since I'm not an expert in it and I'm not really skilled, is that, and you have to be careful each time, because if something like you drove over a pointy obstacle and it punctures your tire, chances are, at least with a bicycle, that the object is still sticking into the rubber tire. And then you remove the inside, like this tube, and you change it, and the tube is just a latex tube. Excuse me. And if the pointy object is still in the rubber and pointing through inside the wheel, of course you just change the tube and you refill it with air, and once you do it, you will puncture it again and it will be ruined as well. So this is one thing to keep in mind. So you always have to check the inside of the tire before you refill it with air. But this is like, okay, that's not your fault, basically. I mean, You could check it, but still, even if you check it, maybe you didn't feel it or you didn't see it, and that's just bad luck. What is a bit of a skill issue is if you change the tire, and when you do it, you just hurt the new tube with your tools, because there is like this plastic tool you can use to get rid of the tire. You have to like get this into an like a crank motion, like, and yeah, if you punctuate the tire with those, then basically you just broke it still inside within the repair process. So that's of course the most annoying thing, and that's always a little stressful, because you think you are already finished and you're refilling your air, and then you punctuate it a second time, and then of course you don't have a second tube and you don't have a second air cartridge, and so yeah, and then you're screwed. Then the next thing is, for me, it would be to call my parents on the phone, and that they can pick me up, at least if I'm in the area with the car. Or if you don't have like lovely parents, or you're just somewhere in the middle of nowhere, you just have to like hitchhike, I guess. And then of course you have this, in my case, you have this pretty expensive bike, so even if you hitchhike, you have to find someone who is not only willing to give you a ride, but also like the bike as well. So it has to be like a pretty big car. And I mean, what I've heard from people who are also like riding bikes on a more professional level, or a more involved hobby, you can also call like a roadside repair team, like those driving, basically those folks that come to your aid when you broke down on the side of the road with your car. They usually also you can also call them if you have a not an accident, but like a problems with your bike. Because if you have an accident with your bike, most likely there will be police and ambulance on site, so it doesn't really matter. But if you have like a flat tire and you just can't go on and you can't reach anybody and nobody is there, you can also call them. I guess it helps if you are a member of those clubs, because usually you have to be a member, or you can be a member, but I guess they also will help you when you're not a member. But maybe you have to pay even more for their service. But yeah, I guess this should be like the absolute like last resort, or at least for me it would be the absolute last resort. This is my last resort. Yeah. So on a more positive note, I'm currently also working on the Marin Hosho review. After I did the figure photo in February, I'm working now on the review, and the review is, I would say, so it's always hard to say, but I would say like 70% complete, give or take. So I don't know how much time I will have on the afternoons and at night, because we are doing the garden, you know. But normally I could like finish this until the weekend. So I will finish this within the week, and so maybe I can present you a new figure review at least next Monday. Or over the weekend. I don't know. Yeah. For this review, I've changed my process a bit, my like production process. I'm not trying to do the green screen effects directly in DaVinci. Usually I did the green screen removal and those green screen bits in After Effects, and rendered the file and then use the rendered file and put it into the main review that is like cut in DaVinci. But now I try to do everything in DaVinci. With the exception of a few effect shots. But yeah, if this works well, if this is a better workflow, I might stick to it, because let's be honest, my green screen effect is far from perfect. First, because I just have like consumer grade like equipment and the consumer grade lighting and studio, little bit below average, I think, for like YouTubers. And also I don't have the knowledge. I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to chroma keying. And then of course I have this green screen upstairs, but it is like, it's not like really functional and ergonomical. It would be better if you would like depend on this, if this would be my job or like my main source of income, I would have to set it up a bit more a bit better. But as a hobby, it's totally fine. But it's a bit like unevenly lit, so the green screen effect is not perfect, I would say, but it's okay. You get the idea. It's a neat little party trick to have a figure review filmed in front of a green screen, I think. I don't know people. I don't know nobody who does this, at least in the figure space. Of course, I know like other YouTubers who do this for games or for movies. Yeah, I wanted to try it for figure reviews, and maybe like, because the reviews I did in Vienna, they were more like just presentations. So I filmed the figure and I presented the figure on a turntable and I talked over it, and it was like a show and tell. I presented the figure. But now with the green screen, I can get far more involved into the review. The idea was like to put me into on an eye level with the figure, to put me right down to the figure's scale, to the level, some sort, you know. So this was the idea behind those newer reviews. And yeah, it's fun to work on them. More fun than I had with the old format. So that's a plus for me as a person to work on them. Because if I have fun making them, it doesn't really matter if they are well received. It's like the same with the convention videos I did like 10 years ago. I had fun doing them and making them and filming them and planning them, especially. Sometimes I also had fun editing them, but the editing process is like I'm not a huge fan of editing, to be honest. I'm more a fan of like planning and filming and like acting, but editing, not so much. So yeah, I guess I have to use another brush for those like hair parts. I have to find the one I already used, I guess. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. So because I have to like go in there, all those nooks and crannies. It's a bit like of a complicated part, this main hair part of hers. There I can totally get why some people that do this more often use an airbrush for those areas. So what I'm proud of is that for some of those reviews, I can already dip into my live stream pools and use clips of it. So there is a kind of synergy starting with those productions. Yeah. I had this in mind, and now I can finally do this. Okay, so I guess I have now painted all the parts with another layer. So I will let them dry. And I guess I can start with the skirt, but of course before I start with the skirt, I will wash my brushes. I will take those parts and put them far away from me, because I will just start to sand the skirt before I brush. It's a SP, Standard and Poor's, and it is sanding and painting, not painting and sanding. Okay. I mean, I like those hair. I like the color, even if it's not the exact as in the guide. I like this more like dark reddish, wine reddish, almost like red wine color. Okay. So I will go on a short break, wash those brushes. Here they are. And yeah, get those parts into safety, and then I will come back and we can sand Emma's skirt. Take care. Okay, back again. Sanding and drinking tea is my favorite pastime. I did it on Friday with all the plastic and with all the, like, I don't know what it is, but the chunks of the putty inside the tea. Yum, yum, yum. At least I know why I'm dying and don't getting old. Dying from some sort of cancer, I guess, because of all the chemicals and the dust I'm breathing in while I'm doing unprotected hobby stuff. So I start with 800. The skirt is like almost perfect. Doesn't have too much knobs. But I guess, yeah, there are some stress marks here, so let me bring you right down into the action. Together with Dorothy, we are sanding those skirt parts. This is the one where I guess I have to apply like the decal on it. There is one decal. The other ones have like color separation, but this one has decal as well. So I might also apply this. But I guess the decal is the last thing to apply. I'm also unsure if I will paint her hands, like arms, with the skin tone, but then again I guess not, because then I would have to paint the face as well. So yeah, no, the arms will be just primed. Oh, not primed, top coated. I always want to say primer, but it's a totally different thing. So don't know. But primer rolls more easily from the tongue than top coat. Reminds me of a top hat, top coat. This is of course her skirt part where she almost sits on the ground, on the floor, crouching, slouching. From what I've heard, this is a very popular pose, or very unique pose, because those are like really specially molded parts. It's like those old Nandroid parts where they had like a special mold for each emote. Nowadays it's much more like regulated with ball joints and like articulated points. But back then they had like almost for each different pose they had like specially molded parts, and you have to put them on. Of course, this made them less play friendly, because you had those fixed poses and nothing else. There was nothing in between. But then of course it visibly it was nicer, because it had far fewer gaps and like ball joints and cracks and seams. It doesn't hit the ground. I don't know if I would count this as a piece if my slip of sandpaper hits the ground, but it didn't hit the ground. It actually got stuck on my foot. So lucky me, I guess. So yeah, and then I guess I will just go there with a 2000, because why not? Just a small piece of 2000. It's really just that you know, it's more of superstition than everything to paint those, to sand those parts before painting. Don't know if it's really necessary, but yeah, there is this one stress mark. I don't know if you can see it, and this is like, you can't feel this anymore. This is like flush with the part, but there's still a stress mark here. Then here is a smaller one, and those of course they disappear once you color the part. So in this regard, it makes totally sense to color the model, even if you try to match this specific color as good as possible. But then of course you also could like use a totally different color as well, so it's up to your preference or to your imagination. It's just a reference, I would say. There are like 3 different skirt parts I have to paint and to scan, so And also with this as well, I have to sand and paint it on the inside as well, because you would totally see this from a lower angle. This is also something to keep in mind, if you see this surface or not on the finished model. In terms of experience, those like build streams, I guess they are really more relaxed and chill, and I'm also a bit more like, you know, like getting into the zone and being there, sanding and painting. It's just like a very relaxed work environment, where those like full-time streams on Friday, they tend to be a bit more chaotic, because usually I'm jumping around in the workshop and I'm doing stuff, and also sometimes I'm doing like things I don't even know if they will turn out in a desired way. So it's a bit more unpredictable what will happen. So if you want to see me with a bit more energy, and also it's Friday, this helps as well. I mean, come on, this is like, it's Monday night. I mean, normal people don't stream at Monday night. They tend to like lay on the couch in front of the TV watching some shows, and you know, are glad that at least Monday is over and tomorrow is Tuesday, and they only have to work 4 days more, and then it's weekend again. So, you know. Okay. So I will remove those parts, but the white one I can just let it be on the skirt for now while sanding. Then I have to remove it when painting. But here it's also like this doesn't really look good, because the problem is with those kits, I don't know if it's a skill issue or if some other people also have those problems, but the gates are often in a way where the part is like strongly bent or like wrapped, so you can't really get a clean cut with your nipper, and there are quite some visible stress marks all over the place. So yeah, I guess with like a Gundam, with a robot, you have more like straight lines, and so the gates can also be on those straight lines, and it's a bit easier to break them free from the runner in a more clean way. But here, especially with such parts as the skirt or with the hairs that have strong folds and uneven surfaces overall, I guess it's a bit harder. But yeah, I'm also like a beginner when it comes to model building, so maybe it's just a skill issue, and people say, oh, you just built, we just built different. Also again, I have to at least paint this on the inside. Sanding on the inside is a bit cumbersome, but painting on the inside the skirt would be a good thing to do, since you can totally look into there from a low angle. The famous panty shot. So yeah. After this I have to wash those parts and blow them dry with some compressed air. And then I can mix the color, and hopefully the color mixing goes well. Okay, so I guess second skirt part. And now the third one. I guess it's the biggest piece of them. I'm also quite curious about the white paint for this shirt, and those like white parts on the skirt, because usually painting white isn't really a fun thing to do. Always dreaded painting white surfaces. Oh god. Okay, so Ooh, almost, but I saved it. I have reflexes like a cat, so no parts are dropping until now. I guess I will not challenge my luck anymore. I will just call it a day and wash those parts and start with the paint job already. Because this is what I want to do. Okay, so I'm washing these and then I will return for the paint job. See ya. Oh, okay. So now for the fun part. Now for the fun part. I really shouldn't do this because I need the height of the seat. So now for the fun part. The mixing of the color. First I can also like try to pull this apart. Yes, okay. To get those white parts out of there, so I don't have to mask them. Yes, fine. First I build it, then you take it apart and then you sand it, so the first time building is just a try. Okay, so now I have to try to mix color. Okay, so we need, of course, the famous 1. It's white. So 44% white. And then we need 35. I guess that's a blue. That must be a blue. 35. Is this 35? That's 35. So white and blue sounds reasonable. Almost like a 50-50 mixture. So, and then we have like 16. What is 16? What's 16 gonna be? I really don't know. 17, 3. Okay. don't know. Do I have a another one of those? Or just 4 of them? What is this? What is this color? 16. This is 17. 32. 3. What do I also need? 72. Okay. Okay, I need this one, but then there is one thing is missing. Age 16. Let me just Google this because okay, so $16 is a green one. Okay, I don't have a green one. Why don't I have a green one? Huh. 50% of the green one. No, it's 15 and 16, yeah. Why do I have a green one? Is there one top missing? I have like 2, 4, 6. 1, 2, 6. 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I guess I don't have a green one. Bummer. Bummer. So I don't know why I didn't order a green color, but there is no green color here. So I guess I have to use a different thing then. Just mix it with those 3. I mean, we just miss like 15%, so yeah. Don't know if I can subsidize with something, but I guess not. It's interesting. I thought I ordered them all, but apparently maybe the green one wasn't in storage, but I just... There is also no bag of those, so yeah. Okay, so well, we just make it with those 3, to be honest. Maybe I should shake them. Should I shake them? Didn't mix something for a long time, so I don't know how to do this. I really thought I had ordered all the colors, but the computer tricked me. Oh shit. Okay. A bit of white. White is the main part. And then the blue one. Okay. And then this one here. For a few drops, I guess. It's just 1%, so like I guess 2 drops should be fine. It's like all the color is up down there, so it really got stuck to the ground. Quite some color down there, gotta say. Is this the same with the blue? Let me see. Oh, not so much. Blue is a bit better mixed. So let's see if we can mix this together. Guess I need a new one. What will be obtained if I mix this together? I guess the green is still missing, so... Do I have green color from another thing? Can I subsidize this with other green color? I mean I try this to subsidize with other green color. This might be a total disaster, but let's try this. Because this really isn't the color I want to have. But let's try to subsidize this with green color. An experiment of some sort. Then use some water. Thin this down. And mix it together. I mean, we're getting there, but I still need some. It still needs a hefty dose of green. Not gonna lie. If I find the green one again. And now we're getting there. Still doesn't have the same like number of pigments, I guess, so maybe a bit more. Maybe without this thing. Okay. And then adding a little bit more water. Just like a few drops. And then maybe a bit more white. To get this a bit more on the lighter side. So I guess a bit more white and then a bit more blue. So then we are good. Maybe a bit more blue. Just I've added a couple of drops of the retarder to keep this open for a little bit longer. Okay. So then I guess I can mix it with a brush. Where are my brushes? I already took them here. Okay. Guess with a brush this is a bit better mixable. That's an interesting color. Okay, so I guess I also need a stick to put this on, but I don't have any. That's a bit of a shame, actually. How should I hold this in place? I didn't thought about that, to be honest. well, something pointy to go in there. It's a shame. That's a shame. That will do. Okay, here goes nothing. So I'm curious how this turns out. Problem is I just have one of those sticks, so do I have a second one of those sticks? I guess I have. Okay. I mean, I guess it's an okay-ish result. So let me see the other part, because I have to paint the inside here as well. Oh, I guess this could work. Yeah, it's a little bit dirtier, the color, than what the color index applies, or what the actual model was. But then again, not too bad, not too bad. But I really need those clamps, because otherwise I'm not able to proceed, I guess. So yeah, I guess I will just take those clamps from the back then. Can you still hear me? I guess I hope you can still hear me. I have 3 clamps and I need 3 clamps. Isn't that convenient? I guess that's convenient. I hope you can still hear me. I mean, I can hear the sound. So, can't have enough of those. Back again. So, okay. Didn't want to hit the pause button, so. Yeah, that's much better. Ah, that's more like it. Look at this. Look at this. Now we can paint so much better. I don't know if it's the cheap acrylic paint that I mixed in, the green, or if it's, I guess it has to be, or if it's like the retarder, or if it's the water that I added. But this looks much more like, yeah, not so, how should I say, viscous, or it's a bit on the thin side. I guess I have to apply a few layers of those, this specific color, but it's okay, it's okay. Is a bad thing. Isn't a bad thing. Okay, so where do I put this? I guess here. Okay, so now for the smaller end parts, gotta find a solution how to grip this. Okay, this is risky but doable. Okay, first layer is done on this part. And the last one, I guess, oh, not really, maybe, because there are those sashes as well, those parts. I guess I can... How do I clamp this? So this doesn't get away from me. Okay, so how are those first parts I did? Hang on, not so bad. I'll let them dry a bit further, but not so bad, not so bad. Okay, so I guess I can just put the brush in here. And color is really strong with those, I gotta say. Can totally see that this is a different beast than normal acrylic paints. Yeah. Should I paint the sashes as well? I guess I have to, but then again, I don't know how to remove those from her body. This one is easy. Okay, so the other one as well must be also easy. But this here, or should I say, sheesh. How is this in there? This is like a two-part thing. That's hard to remove, or is it? No, it just comes off. Oh, okay. I can pry this open. And now I have to remove this as gently as possible, and we are done. Very well. Emmer gets destroyed more and more. So here are the parts. So I have to sand them. Sand them straight to hell. And then I can just go on with the remaining color, and then I will have to let this dry. It's always like so tempting to apply a second coat of paint right after the first one, but this would totally ruin the results. So I will just sand those parts and then paint it and then call it a day. Okay. I mean, I have to get up tomorrow eventually, and I work from home tomorrow. That's actually quite a nice thing. That eventually I find a solution for Monday streams to be not as like sleep deprived as when I would have to go up and maybe even drive to work with my bike. So yeah, I can totally work from home every Tuesday, but still I have to go up, get up in the morning and like talk to the construction crew that arrives early in the morning for the garden, give them supervision, and we can talk about what will be done today. Oh, almost dropping the parts here at the end of the experience. I'm looking forward to Emma when she's complete. I'm sure she will be cute. And if the color scheme doesn't 100% match the like the guides, I don't mind as much, because what's the point of painting if it would be like the exact same color? This would also a bit be silly, wouldn't it? Hi there, Jinxie. Welcome to the chat. How are you? Hope you're doing well. I'm still here building my Emmer. Painting her. First I built her, then I put her apart. So now I have to sand all parts and try to paint them at least. I mean, I've just noticed for the skirt that I apparently didn't order a green shade. Like, what was it? Age 16. I thought it was a good idea to like scan the page and basically tell Gemini, or what was it, like Copilot, to put together a spreadsheet of all the colors to order, and then I just have to put them into a shopping cart. But either the green wasn't included at this spreadsheet, or they didn't have the green one, or I didn't order it. There's like those three options. But now that I don't have the right shade of green, I use the substitute. But this is green at least. Okay, that's a thing. Okay, it's green, but it's not the right green, and it's also not the same brand of color. So let's see. What could possibly go wrong? But it's now a bit of more a muddy tone. But then again, at least it's unique to the build, I guess. Maybe it does look even more realistic. It's a more like muddy turquoise tone. And you immediately notice that you mixed something in that doesn't belong to this color in terms of quality. So yeah, I guess it will be fine. Come on. I mean, it's just a plastic model. It's not rocket science. Everything will be in order. Yeah, that's the problem if you start with so hard colors, because you start with a white and you start with a blue. Those are like pretty hard colors, pretty far away from what I might achieve to get mixed. It's another thing if you are starting with a color that is almost there, and you just add a bit of white or add a bit of black or gray to soften things out. But if you start with such harsh colors, you have to trust the color mixing guide. So yeah, but yeah, there is no green one. I've ordered a couple of colors that I don't need on purpose, because I thought, hey, those are like 30-minute sister skin tone colors. But then again, they are a different brand, or like a different mixture. So I guess to combine them with those Acrosin colors is not really advisable, because apparently on those colors the top coat will not work. At least it's like 5 times mentioned on this little spray can. Don't spray it on what is this called? No, that's Acrosin. This one, Aqueous. Yeah. So this is here. This is not compatible with the top coat. This should be compatible with the top coat. So yeah. Of course, it doesn't say what will happen if you neglect this warning. If it's just like doesn't stick to the model, if it's get cracked, or if it got some chemical reactions to it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I have to like try it on a runner part. What happens? Yeah, now I'm laying down the first layer on those skirt parts, because these really are, I mean, I guess I'm almost finished then, because once the skirt is done, the hair parts and the legs are already kind of done. I also need the blouse, like the shirt, those white parts. But then again, the white part is just white, isn't it? Is this like, is this shirt or is this, I guess this is the white part. So I just have to paint this white. I don't like painting white. God. I hope this works fine, painting white. I mean, it's a glossy white that usually helps, but then again, not a fan of white paint. Especially if the part that I'm painting on is already perfectly white. It would be an easy thing to say, just top coat it. Maybe I will do this. I don't know. Maybe I will not paint those parts white. Because let's be honest, I have the feeling that I will make it worse than it already is. Of course, then the accessories are still missing. First, of course, her hair parts, her hair accessories, like those ribbons and, you know, pins. And then, of course, her golden buttons, the shoes. I mean, there are a few details. And then, of course, there is her hand gear, like tablet, her smartphone, gamepad. But those parts are really cheap. I mean, this tablet is basically just a white flat piece of plastic. This does look so, it does look and feel so cheap. And even like, if you color this, yeah, I mean, why isn't this printed on the back? There is a logo on the back that you can basically paint there, but why isn't this printed? And why is the screen white? I guess it's a drawing tablet, so it doesn't appear to be a monitor of some sort. So I guess it makes sense, or it could be white. But then again, if you have a Wacom tablet, they are usually like have a black drawing surface. But still, also the smartphone or this gaming device that she holds in place, this also does look so cheap. So if you compare this to like Nandroid accessories, or like Figma accessories, or even like little Armory things, those accessories do look so cheap. Of course, then there is also the stylus. Stylus also very, yeah, like small and fragile and not really molded to perfection. So yeah, I don't know if I will do those additional parts. I mean, I guess I will do them, but at least try. Since it's nothing that is essential for Emma, I might, if I ruin them, I can just like bury them in the box and never speak of them again. But I don't know. I mean, I have to get like experience, so I guess it's fine. So, but yeah, I will just now wash those parts here. Then I will try to get some clamps so that I can hold them and paint them. And then let's hope the first layer dries well. And I don't know when the next PLAMonday will be. I mean, I know when the next Monday will be, but is it a PLAMonday? I don't know. it strongly depends how much time I have to stream in the upcoming days with the renovation of the garden. I mean, when I start streaming, it's usually already dark outside, but if I have to work all afternoon in the garden, I might not have the energy to stream. And also, we might use this very workshop here for real, like, work projects, not just hobby stuff. So there might not be a space to stream and to have this whole setup going. So yeah, I don't know. Could be irregular, unscheduled streams for the next 4 to 5 weeks until this whole thing blows over. And yeah, maybe I will if everything goes well. I mean, I'm already, like, you know, making promises that I might not can keep, but if it goes well, I might do a stream, like a build stream or a hobby stream from the garden at some point, because I mean, I guess I can just take the cables outside. I can keep this, I can move this setup upstairs and yeah, place those cameras outside. Who knows? Okay, so we'll just wash those parts and come back with some clamps hopefully, and then I can paint it, and yeah, then I have a little bit of progress and I can go to bed knowing that I did something productive. See you in a minute. Alright, back again. Managed to grab 4 of those clamps. The leg parts are touchable. They are almost dry, so yeah. And I guess they look good. Can top coat them. Luckily the weather is now mostly nice, so I can do this outside. I guess I have to wait until the afternoon, late afternoon, when the construction crew leaves, because when I do this now, there might be too much dust in the air. But otherwise, it's sprayable weather. So lucky me. So okay, how can I clamp this so that I don't drop it and that it's paintable? Might be okay. So let me just again mix this together a bit better. It sticks to the brush like crazy. Really interesting. It doesn't really mix well together, I gotta say, but oh well. Can you actually see this? Yeah. What's with this part here? Can this be clamped? Yeah, it can be clamped there. Excellent, most excellent. Okay, I hope this dries well. Those parts, I mean, I can try to coat this with a second layer and see what happens already. So I don't know. You immediately notice that you added some like some matte acrylic paint that doesn't belong into the mix. So yeah. I would be so mad if I find the green color, so that I actually ordered it and I didn't find it yet in the stream. That would be perfect me, I guess. Also, it was the first day like working in the garden. I mean, I wasn't there, I was at work, of course, but my parents told me that it was the first day working and we already ruined a saw, an electric saw, when we tried to get rid of those like roots from the from some bushes and from some trees. And yeah, basically we over stressed the motor of the saw. I mean, to be fair, we use like really cheap electrical tools, like the ones from like a discounter or like from a cheap brand, because usually they work just fine. If you don't like do heavy constructions with them, they really do work fine. Don't need fancy equipment, and yeah, for hobby stuff, of course, they work really perfectly fine. And let's be honest, if they break, like now, if really the tool breaks, not just the battery pack, if the tool breaks, we just replace it. I guess an electrical saw like the one we ruined costs like $30, I guess, without a battery pack. So yeah. Of course, we also could buy one for 300. But yeah. We don't expect it to break 10 times in a row, so. I mean, it's always silly if you compare the like quality of a power drill, and you say, oh, this power drill is really worth the money because I have it for 20 years now. And then I'm always try to get out of those people, okay, you have this power drill for 20 years. How many minutes, literally minutes, did you drill with it? Not how many holes did you drill with it, how many minutes did it drill? Because if you think about it, if you drill a hole into like a wooden board or like even if it's a concrete wall, what would be like the more advanced task for those battery powered multi-tools, or even if it's a cord powered tool and you have to drill a hole in a concrete wall to just mount some furniture or some picture frames, it usually doesn't take longer than like 2 minutes. realistically speaking, might even take only like 15 to 30 seconds to drill a hole into a wall, or like a board of wood or something. So if you accumulate and add all those like 30 seconds, 50 seconds, 10 seconds together, you will get a very low number in terms of actual running time of those appliances. And so, yeah. It's no wonder that they can give you like a 5-year warranty if they exactly knew that you take this tool, you get home with it, and then you just pack it onto the shelf and never use it like frequently. Of course, if you are a guy who does like a you know, has a side hustle in construction, like on the weekends and stuff, you know, your typical Schwarzarbeit, or like a Pfusch, as we say in Austria, then you might invest in some proper tools because you might need them. But if you do just hobby stuff or occasionally use it for projects around the house, in my opinion, it really doesn't matter. If you really want to min-max, splurge a little bit on the like disposable tools, like don't waste much money for an electrical drill. Spend the money on proper drill bits, or don't spend your money on an electrical saw. Spend your money on not electrical, but on saw blades, on like really good saw blades. It's money well spent, because the spinning motor doesn't really matter if it spins, if it's an expensive spinning motor or if it's a cheap spinning motor. But if the actual blade or the drill bit or whatever that has contact with the material, if this is a good quality, this might actually change your result or your workflow. Okay, speaking of workflow, I will call it a day and pack things together. Let me just try to name those tops, because I have to use them again later on. Yeah. Let's see how the skirt turns out. I guess I have to apply a few more coats here. Okay, this is like skirt. Okay, this is bag. This is, I don't know. Let's check. This is hair. Yeah, this is the hair part. Those are the hair parts. And this is like the legs. Okay. So, yeah. Hopefully, I can see you all again on Friday to full time, but I really don't know if I have time to fool around in the workshop. Maybe I will have to do some proper work, and yeah. If not, maybe I'm doing an unscheduled stream somewhere during the week when I have time, but I also want to finish the Marin. Jesus, just clicked on the mouse. Yeah, I want to finish the Marin review in this week, and yeah, I have plenty of like figures to film, like do B-roll of them. So I have to. I can work even if I have like shorter blocks of free time for the foreseeable future for the next couple of weeks. But yeah, if I have time to stream on Monday and Friday, I will be here next Friday. There might be a full time again. We will work together on the serial experience lane picture. I've already have like 3 power poles almost like built. Of course, I have to paint them a bit more, and 3 other ones are still in the making. So plenty of work to do with the lane photo as well. So I think I will do the lane photo in April. March is not possible, but April I guess I will do the lane photo and maybe also the lane review, so that my friend, my serial experience lane guy who I've bought the figure for will receive his copy, and yeah, then we'll carry on with other projects. And maybe then, like in April, the garden will also be almost ready. So yeah, everything will come together. You will see. Then spring comes around and summer comes around, and the weather gets pretty warm outside, and I will be even more happier to be down here in the basement and filming and streaming and tinkering. That I don't have to be upstairs in the hot, humid studio and sitting on my PC. So I'm here at the cold, humid basement. So yeah. Okay, thank you so much for watching this Monday's PLAMonday stream. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will see you again next stream. And yeah, take care out there. Bye. Where is my end card? What did I do with my end card? Is this my end card? I guess.